Well, around about halfway through the national hunt season, so it's probably round about right that we start mentioning the C word and the F word. With a big festive programme ahead, it is the Cheltenham Festival. We're going to start our road to Cheltenham series. We'll pick it up in the second Monday in January, looking ahead, of course, to the greatest show on turf. Joel and Frankie are alongside me. And boys, we're going to start looking at the championship races. I'm not sure we've learned too much so far. But Joel, start with you. How excited are you looking ahead to March right now?
I'll be honest with you, it's starting to pick up a little bit. Normally, I can't wait once you get past the Christmas period, but it's the small fields, isn't it? Everything you look at, I'm looking at the Champion Chase or the Champion Hurdle. You're going, I can't see more than 4 or 5 runners in this. So you've got to find something that's going to win, something that's going to run, and try and get a price now. So that's what I'm enjoying doing. But yeah, I think the Gold Cup market is wide open. I think that's it's really good, and I've got 7 on the short list.
So it's a long list then.
Yeah,
Frankie, same question to you. Obviously, 3 months away and counting.
Yeah, this time of year is always when you start thinking about. I know everyone tries to hold off and say, "Oh, we shouldn't be talking about Cheltenham this early," but it's when the big guns start coming out, really, isn't it? That's when we start to kind of size them up against each other, and we haven't seen all of them. Or we haven't seen many appearances from loads of top guns, but as you start to see their first runs of the season, or you start to see 1 or 2 horses go up against each other, you start to compare races over England and Ireland. That's when you start to kind of make sense of the market, or at least have a bit of a guess of what might happen come March. So yeah, the more good horses, and as we'll probably talk about now, we've just seen Galopin de Champs. So the more races like that you see, the more you start to think who might be winning come Cheltenham.
Yeah, well, we'll start with the Gold Cup shortly because you mentioned Galopin des Champs. But basically, what we're going to do for the next few minutes, look ahead to the 4 championship races at the festival, the big one each day. We'll leave out the Ryanair at the minute with the question marks about Allaho, whether he'll be there, of course, with him being injured. And then we'll get one pick off either of you, or both of you, I should say, one pick from each of you on any race right now. I think I know what Joel's might be. I'm intrigued to see what Frankie is. But we're going to talk about the championship races. We'll start with the Gold Cup. We've literally just watched Galopin des Champs as we record this win the John Durkin. Obviously, I know he beat Fakir Duderie. Frankie, I'll start with you, but kind of the similar sentiments to Constitution Hill and Energumene. All we know is he's got 4 legs and he's breathing.
Yeah, well, and he also travels very nicely and jumps fence exceptionally well. But yeah, I mean, what price did you say he's got now after just now winning?
He's into 7 to 4.
It's short, isn't it? At this time, I mean, it's short for the Gold Cup, regardless. If I'm honest, I mean, just the nature of the race, 7 to 4 to get round in the Gold Cup is short enough for me. And I know he looks like a superstar talent, and I know he's trained by William Williams, and he ticks all the boxes, but as you look at the market now, Long Press hasn't put many feet wrong. A Plus Tard, if you ignore the little fluff at the Betfred chase, the way that A Plus Tard won last year's Gold Cup, around 7 to 1, that kind of instantly screams out at me. Horses do have their off days. Henry's horses haven't been firing that well in the time of the year that, as I said, he didn't go that well at the Betfred chase. Well, the nature of the way that he won the race last year, 7 to 1 kind of screams out. I mean, Noble Yates probably didn't beat much last time out, but the way he quickened at the end of a 3-mile race, really, really impressive. Protectorat probably wouldn't have. Allaho, who knows where he's going to race and if he's going to race because he's injured. But yeah, there's a lot of names in here that all have a chance. As Joel mentioned, it's wide open, and I think 7 to 4 for me is too skinny. For me, I'd probably be looking between Lompresse and A Plus Tard, both around 6-7s each way. They're both very solid. Lompresse, you've got to see in the mixer at an each way bet, I'd hope. And A Plus Tard, you're just hoping on the fact that he bounces back and he's as good as he was last year. But yeah, for me, Galopin de Champs, an exciting horse. Didn't put a foot wrong now. But God, I'd be hoping 7-4 on the day, to be honest. So I wouldn't have an anti-post bet.
Yeah, that's true. And I think he's right, isn't he, John? I mean, sure enough, in the next few days, we're going to see the King George and the Savile. So this is going to take a much different complexion in a few days' time, this market.
Yeah, I think so. And also, Galopin de Champs fell when clear. I was there last year. Go on, we're on. Oh, he's down. Yeah, the Turners last year. And it's a copy and paste job of what Frankie said. A Plus Tard's been one of my favourite horses for a few years. And just to recap what Frankie said about Henry de Bromhead being out of form, maybe the ground was a little bit quick as well at Haydock. Ran off a fast pace. I just think things were happening a little bit too too quick first run of the season. And I heard on a podcast this morning that the bloods had come back, which is a good sign, but not a bad sign. Apparently, this is what they're putting out anyway. The A plus Tard had an allergic reaction to something. That's all that's been said. At Haydock. Now, it could be Manx, could be Scousers, or it could be the fact it's £7.50 pints. I'm not sure. But on that day, Protector Rat was magnificent. I've never been in love with that horse. But looks a serious horse now. But I still think I'm coming back to Gold Cup. Says to me on the day, you've got to have the experience. And I got it down to the two, Protector Rat and A plus Tard, and I'm just going to go with heart here. And A plus Tard, I think it'll be a hell of a lot shorter on the day. And I can just see it happening. Can see it happening.
Can we have a quick mention for Hewitt? Is there any sort of dream alive for Shark?
Is he going straight there?
I think so. Yeah, that's what they've said. Yeah, straight to the Gold Cup.
Yeah, isn't that £800 potential winner of a Gold Cup? 25 to 1 he is.
I know. Yeah, I mean it would be the worst shout, 5 each way, just for the chance that it does happen.
Goes there fresh. American Grand National winner, of course. Whitbread winner, whatever as they call it now. 25 to 1. You'll be both with A plus Tard then. 7 to 1 about a reigning champion. I think it's fair to say is pretty tasty. Right, we'll go back to the first day. Champion hurdle, of course. Constitution Hill. Again, we've only seen him once this season. We know he's fit and well, and he's got 4 legs when he beat Epitome and Not So Sleepy in the fight in 5th. Hopefully we'll see him again. We're not sure. Nick Henderson trying to keep him under wraps. Everyone wants to see him. We're talking to Dan Barber this morning, and he's hoping he goes for the Betfair hurdle at Newby. What a race that'd be off top weight. But look, his 3's on. If Honeysuckle does slide off to the mares, is it a penalty kick for him, Joel?
Well, yeah, it's obviously, isn't it? He's only got to jump a few little little obstacles. That's all he's got to do. It's the second coming of Jesus Christ, the lad. That everybody is saying 5 to 2. Do you remember when we looked at that and you said 5 to 2, 5 to 2? I wouldn't take 5 to 2 and getting there. He's still not there yet at a stupid price, 1 at 3, whatever he is now. This is going to be a 5-6 runner race again, isn't it? You've got to look at who's going to go there. Tiapu, I know, is one of your favourites. That'll go stayers, won't it?
I think he's going up in trip, yeah.
Yeah. Vauban, very impressive at Punchestown in April, but where's the horse been? Not seen the horse yet. State Man ticks all the boxes with the untapped potential. He's the improver in the field. Beat the I think it was Sharjah, wasn't it? The Willie Mullins Invitational, Morgiana. The only thing I could get out of this, if you can get an early price, look, Pied Piper, right? Pied Piper has beaten Vauban, right? This is, hang on a second. I've got so many notes. It looks like a family tree going off here. And I'm trying to find some value of something that will definitely run. Pied Piper will definitely run. And Vauban's beaten Pied Piper a couple of times. But last month, Vauban beat Pied Piper. And that's the straws that I'm clutching at. This is the race that Pied Piper will definitely go for. And at 25 to 1 or something like that, that is the only bit of value I can eke out of the horses that are running. I think State Man's a tremendous horse. Vauban, if it goes. But I think it's going to be a case of how far for Constitution Hill. And this is not why you watch the show. But it's, it's a 1 to 3 shot. And it probably will like an odds on favourite should.
Probably, Frank. I mean, this recurring theme, I'll just mention all the favourites for the big races. Between the 4 championship races, the 4 favourites, about 4 racecourse appearances so far this term.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't need to see much more from Constitution Hill, did you? That was just one big tick in the box. And that was the race that everybody was waiting to see because he was so impressive in the Supreme. But another year on, all these rumours start to come up. I even heard somebody saying maybe he's got too big at home. He's got too strong, so he's not going to be as quick. Everyone tries to find something that might have gone wrong with him. And there's a glimmer of doubt that creeps in as time goes on. But that one run was enough for me, to be honest, and it's clearly enough for the market and everybody else. It was just too good. And with Epitome in behind, I know that she's not an absolute superstar in her own right, but she's ran to credit in champion hurdles and won her fair share of grade ones. And the way that he put Epitome to bed was just ridiculous, really. So, if we're looking at favourites to get beat, I definitely wouldn't be trying to take my chances against Constitution Hill. I think it is a question of getting him there, getting him over, and doing what he can do. He just seems to be an absolute freak of a horse. I probably agree with Joel in that Piper at an each way bet, if you want to play that now, to get him to run into a place and try and pick up some placement. I mean, you're getting paid more at 33 to 1 coming third than you are 1 to 3 coming first. So maybe that is the angle from a betting perspective, is to find something to come each way. Tia Hooper would have been quite a nice shout, but as you said, probably step up in trip. And then State Man, a little bit short. Honeysuckle probably won't run. Vauban we haven't seen yet, although he's got to be the one that has the most speed out of all of these. Probably the one I'd be most scared of if he does turn up and in good form. But yeah, for me, unfortunately, it's the Constitution Hill show. Vauban the danger, Piper the potential each way value.
So we're confident it's not going to be an Irish whitewash in the Presby Cup. One for us.
So far,
one for us.
we've got one in. Long press maybe carrying the flag in the Gold Cup. I can make a case for 2 out of 2 so far in the championship races.
Well, the champion chase is very much England versus Ireland, if the market have it believed. I mean, at the present, it's 14's bar, Energumene and Edwardstone. We saw Energumene jump round at Cork. We know he's fit, well, alive and breathing. Edwardstone have a tougher test, but he came through with flying colours, Frankie, in the Tingle Creek. And I think you were there that day.
I was really impressed with him in Tingle Creek. If it is a 2-horse race, then this is where we might be squeaking a bit of value out of the second favourite in the market, Edwardstone. We've said over and over again, he doesn't seem to get the credit he deserves. And I mean, for a horse that went unbeaten to Cheltenham last year, won the Arkle, was beaten at Aintree, but after a long season, then comes back and wins the Tingle Creek by 7 or 8 lengths like he does. He fits the bill, doesn't he, to go and win a race like this? He's done absolutely nothing wrong. He seems to be getting better and better. Grenetin in behind. Shishkin obviously smashed into the second last, whatever it was, and didn't run too much of a race. But, you know, there's a couple of horses down the bottom of the market that were in the race, and he beat what he did, and he did it very well. I know Energumene's a beast, and he won last year's, but it wasn't the most competitive last year anyway. Shakin Passoir, was Shakin pulled up, and Shishkin pulled up, or did Shakin even make the running?
Shakin didn't make the race, and Shishkin was pulled up.
Yeah, Shishkin was pulled up. Shakin didn't make the race. There wasn't a whole lot in behind last time. And yes, we've seen Energumene go and win and then trot round not too long ago. But odds on, I'm in the Edwardstone camp. I've been converted. I was willing to bet against him going to the festival last year, and I won't make that same mistake twice. I think he is top class. He has some serious speed. He's got a turn of foot. He jumps them perfectly. And if there was one, as I said, to try and take on a fab, for me, this is it. 5 to 2 doesn't look the worst price.
Why is he so underrated, Joel, Edwardstone?
I think Matt Chapman said he was boring on TV, and I sort of get that as well. He's not. I don't know. I mean, Alan King's not very, you know.
Trainer and jockey, without being sounding disrespectful, but they don't light you up as much as, you know, like a Mullins favourite with Paul Townend on does.
Yeah, maybe that. And of course, last year it was my best bet at the festival. I kept going on and on and on about it. 8 to 1 we got. And I got off the Edwardstone train before the Tingle Creek. And I'm back on it again because I got off. He's got to find a stone here. He'll finish third at best here. And look, there's excuses for Shishkin, but I mean, I'm running out of excuses for that. And I think at the pair, I would go for Edwardstone again. I'm back on that. I'm disappointed I've missed the stupid prices. I'm not sure there's many people who got them. Maybe Alan King maybe got a few quid of that. But Energumene came out 1 to 9. What did we learn? It shortens again. Nubenegra in there at a price.
Yeah.
About 25.
Challenge A's won there as well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. Yeah, straight after Cheltenham. Any rain, I don't think it'll run. But I think I would go Edwardstone to win, and I'd just go go sneaky forecast Edwardstone and Nubenegra and leave Energumene well alone.
It's mad as we look at this, isn't it? How, I mean, Energumene will go, Edwardstone will go. Shishkin, they've been pretty brutal about saying that he'll go up in trip. Blue Lord, couldn't have Blue Lord beating either of the top two. Grenetin, same goes after that Tingle Creek run. Nubenegra, Galopin won't go here. Gentleman to me.
Gentleman to me is an interesting one. They very much said he's a spring horse, and he beat Edwardstone at Aintree. I mean, he's got to prove himself at Cheltenham, but at 33s, he ran okay in the Tingle Creek for a long way.
Go from the front as well.
Yeah, and as you go down the list and you start putting a line through those that won't turn up, he hasn't got to beat much to get into the places, has he?
No. Outside of the front two, he's the one that kind of drew my eye. Expecting Shishkin will step up in trip, maybe.
Hmm. Yeah, no, agreed. That'll be your outsider for me as well.
Yeah, you're both with Edwardstone there. Right, the Stayers Hurdle. This is a wide open one as we stand right now. Look, he's on a hat-trick Flooring Porter, but he is 4-1. Ireland are all right in this lane. I think they've won 5 of the last 10. Prior to that, he was dominated by both England and France, of course, with the likes of Barracuda. But the market very much dominated by the Irish. Flooring Porter, Blazing Cow, we're still yet to see. Very good novice, Classical Dream, Tiapu. Obviously, that state man will go here. Buzz is obviously coming back from a major injury. Champ and Paisley Park, we hope to see on Boxing Day in the long walk. Wide open stays, Joel.
Yeah, I mean, we got Champ, we got Paisley Park, as you said. That last race was brilliant. A fag paper between the pair of them. 11 years old now, the pair of them. This is. I think appreciates it. Just about to get beat here. I'm just watching this live as we record this. Oh no, he's pulling away again. Just wait. At the last, and he's he's a Tomo. Oh, he's down. No, he's not. He's up. He's down. Not impressive. Anyway, back to this. Champ Paisley Park, both 11 years old. He's won by about 7 lengths. Forget me. Blazing Carl, we've not seen this year. Right, there's two I've got in this one. If you speak to any of your Irish friends, all they're saying is Brandy Love. That's all they're saying. There's always a horse that, it's Brandy Love, Brandy Love,
is the
Brandy
horse
Love.
we're talking about?
Pulled out right. Yeah. Every single Irish friend that's connected to racing. Pulled out the Ryanair last year. Yeah, that's the one. Winning at Fairy House in April, beating Love Envoy by like 8. That's the tick in the box. I may have got you another Irish horse here, around 25-1. Have a look right down the list, because this is going to cut up. This is, there's a lot of these go here. This will definitely go here. It was 6th last year. It's a 7-year-old, trained by Joseph O'Brien, home by the Lee. 6th in this race last year, like I say, and it beat Flooring Porter last month. I mean, Flooring Porter wasn't, ready to fly. But have a little look at that one at 25-1, home by the Lee. That's my one, and they say the Irish are just all over Brandy Love. So I think it will go to Ireland unless Champ or Paisley Park get an outboard motor. But to be fair, every time we write either of those two horses off and I've retired them, they come back. They didn't look like a pair of 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds a couple of weeks ago, did they? Every time you write them off, they come back.
They certainly did.
And Paisley Park stayed on into, was it 3rd last year? Stayed on to into a place anyway.
Yeah. I'm not sure Kempton will be his track though on Boxing if he does go there for the long walk. But although it's an Irish dominating market, Joel's give us 2 bigger prices against the field. What are you thinking of the stayers, Frankie?
Tia Hooper, if he goes, is the one that I'd be most interested about. And the stayers is run on the Thursday, isn't it? If you look at Tia Hooper, he's won on anything that's heavy or soft. He's got 2 lasts to his name in a champion hurdle and an Irish champion, which was maybe a bit too quick for him, but on good ground, that might also play a role. And come the stayers at Cheltenham, it's a little bit soft, and if he does get the trip, he's a very talented horse on his day, but there's a lot of question marks about if he'll go and if he'll get the trip and so on and so on. I'm not sure. Did you say at the start of the show that you think he'll be stepped up and he might go here?
I think so, yeah. I think he won the Hatton's Grace, and that was 2.5, and he was really put in his place by Nisok in the champion hurdle last year. So I'm guessing they will. They may even keep him for the Aintree hurdle. That might be his long-term goal, keeping his powder dry 2.5 miles, ideal around Aintree, you'd imagine, a speed track. So I'm not sure where they're going to go with him.
He's always been a horse that I felt was very talented and hasn't quite been made the most of, or hasn't quite got the race he wanted, or it hasn't happened for him yet. And this could, like I said, unlock him on maybe this is just you guessing out your ground, could be anything, but there's been enough racing happen, and come the Thursday, it always seems to be a little bit softer. And then a bit further, Classical Dream, talented again on his day, but seems to go out like a light every now and then. And did in last year's, he would have been odds on coming down to the last in last year's stairs, and then just absolutely nothing over the last. And then you have got Flooring Porter. He was been beaten twice already. If you go back to last season, he fell, I think, in his opener, and then came second in his next race before coming down, and then came and won. And these stayers do come back year after year after year. But could you make a case for him being slightly on a decline now?
Well, we talk about Edwardstone. I mean, talking of unsexy horses, there's another one that just doesn't grab you, does he?
Yeah, it's true. What's dual winner?
Exactly.
Going for the hat trick, 4-1. Why is it 4-1? I couldn't really tell you, considering we've talked about 10 to 11 and 1 to 3 shots. Why is Flooring Porter a winner of the race the last 2 years, 4-1 against a horse that we haven't seen yet, Classical Dream, who he's beat decisively last time, Tia Hooper, who hasn't gone the trip yet, State Man might not go, Buzz might not go, Bob Ollinger. I mean, the more I talk about it, the more I'm making a case for the favourite.
Putting yourself off everything. Right.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going for the favourite. Tiapo is of interest, and 2 Brandy Lovin, home by the Lee against the field for Joel. Just to recap, both the La Plutard for the Gold Cup, both the Constitution Hill and Piper each way in the Champion Hurdle at present, and Edwardstone for the Champion Chase. So that's our thoughts at this stage. Halfway through the season, we thought we'd have a look at the championship races. From the 9th of January, we will be previewing all the way up to the festival itself in our Road to Cheltenham series. So from the 9th of January all the way up to Festival Week, we'll be previewing the action for Cheltenham. Right, as we stand right now, any of the 28 races, I want to come to you first, Joel, because I think I know where you might be going. Any bet you can have
the same as mine
today, what would it be?
Right. Is it a French name, Joel?
Where do you think? Right, come on.
I think you're going in the Fox Hunters.
No.
Are you trying to find out the race that Ilete Tomps goes in?
No, listen.
And it best not be Melon.
No, it's not. I texted me this morning. It says Melon's still alive. I've not seen it anywhere. Where's it gone? No, I'm going
wherever it is. It's coming second.
It's coming second. Yeah, I'm going for a French import.
Frankie's called it.
Yeah, okay, Frankie called it. And I'm going for Gaelic Warrior and the Ballymore. I had it at 10s on Monday. I think it's about 8s now. It was 66 for the Champion Hurdle, 20s for the Supreme, and 10s early this week for the Ballymore. Doing a little bit of research. And of course, it's Willie Mullins bingo on this one. Facile Vega, obviously, is into the race. So I think it'll go here, and I think it'll go off favour as well. I think wherever it runs, I think it will win. I mean, it beat Trees, didn't it, in Ireland by 69 lengths or whatever it was. But I was so taken in last year by how was it so short for that race last year when it got done by Brazil on the line. And I was at Cheltenham that day, and I was gambling responsibly, but I had a very good day, and I'd not touched it. And I was there, and I thought, I've got a few quid here. I can afford to lose it. Stuck it on. We're winning. And then Brazil did us on the line.
He threw it away, didn't he?
Yeah. And pulled a bit hard. But I think this year the money's coming, and for anyone you speak to, the Ballymore is the preferred option. Hence the prices. So the bookie's got it right. Hopefully Willie Mullins has got it right. Let's just see if Paul Townend can get it right this time.
Not in a double with the Storyteller for the Fox Hunters.
No, Storyteller is now 7-1. 7 to. I put that up at 20s or something like that.
Yeah, you heard it here.
7.
8th, probably. Frankie, 28 races. Anything that you've backed anti-post, or you think you could back right now that maybe shorter on the day?
Constitution Hill at 1 to 2 he backs. He's got some value there, the lad.
I'm trying to figure out where Three Stripe Life might go. This is the horse I just following. And my theory is Mighty Potter goes to the Turners and Three Stripe Life gets stepped up and goes to the Brown Advisory over 3 miles. He was a bit messy over hurdles, but I was quite impressed with his first start over fences. He just has a look about him, I think, that looks like he could go further. He's not like a speed horse, so to speak. He was second behind Sir Gerhard. Again, where does Sir Gerhard go? Probably for the Turners. These better horses just above him, Sir Gerhard, Mighty Potter, all go to the Turners, and he goes against probably the Cocooners and the Cocooner in the Brown Advisory. And that'd be my poke, but whether or not he goes there is you're playing a guessing game, really.
Three Strike Life then for Frankie, Gaelic Warrior for Joel. Right, Joel's later on in the week or over Christmas, because we're going to preview all the big action on Boxing Day with 4 crackers at Kempton, grade 1s to look forward to. So Joel and Frank will join us for that later on in the week. And then remember, from the 9th of January, we'll have our special Cheltenham series previewing all the races up to Festival Week. And on New Year's Day, we'll have a very special Cheltenham themed offer for you across all Betfred retail and online channels. So New Year's Day, huge offer upcoming on Cheltenham. On the 9th of January, our Road to Cheltenham series. Whatever you're backing over this festive period, the very best of luck.